So I've just done a run on the Crown Prince and smashed the last act on, not the Crown Prince I should say, on the bunny. And just melted the boss in the burn phase, and on Jokul this Reincarnation 8 Jokul, at 90% of the bar. That means it only went 10% before he was nuked down. Now I want to talk a bit about fusion builds, and I'm just on the page here, which is, Gunfire Reborn Wiki. It's about elemental effects. Now in the past, and most videos you'll see will tell you about Miasma builds, which is adding together, you can see there, burning, decay, will do combustion, burning and shock will do manipulation, shock and decay will do miasma, and trying to get a triple build was really only possible on the Crown Prince. You could get on others, but I mean, that's the one that most people do. Now Spores really is the best, sort of early game, just smashes stuff, and I get it before the first boss in Act 1, and there's a way to do that, and there's a whole playlist on how to do that in my channel for each hero, how to beat Reincarnation 1 to 8 with builds and all the rest of it. But what I want to talk about here is some of the new patch changes that has made it possible for any character, with a couple of the new ascensions and things, not ascensions, spiritual remnants, to get Miasma, and it's a lot of fun, and you'll see this happen. So let me just explain a bit about how the fusion works. You've got burn, shock and decay, and a certain mixing will do manipulation, explosion, miasma. Manipulation makes them fight each other. Explosion, does explosions, but miasma does sort of just, it's like another, damage additive that's there. In the past, this is going to the patch notes that happened just on the 17th of February, they've added a couple of things that I've just sort of been playing around with on different heroes, and I just did a monkey run with these ones. So we're looking at a couple of things here. They've added Counterviolence as new, and I think that's the best out of those three. Skill damage doesn't do a lot in the last act anyway, but this synergizes really well with Spores, and having the radioactive glove that I use, because it's a very fast firing weapon. It doesn't crit normally, but it slows the enemies, and it's got a very long range, so you have to get close to hit crit spots, because every second shot, and you can get up to 1,500. I've had up to 3,000 rounds in 100 seconds on the bunny with different scrolls and different things, but 1,000 rounds is fine, 1,200, 1,500. So every second shot is critting. Spores are stacking really fast with an Argus or a Wild Hunt in the offhand, which you'll see. And I did try the skill trick where I had about 400 lucky shot, 200 from that, and I had scrolls and other things, but it didn't perform as well as Counterviolence with this weapon. Then you see down there, you've got the new Painkiller here, old and new, and you can have a look at that. But basically, Painkiller in the last act, you've already got the radioactive glove doing decay. And then so what it does beyond there, let me just go down to it so you're reading it, is you've got all the enemies in Act 4 are doing all these elements on you. They're doing fire to you, they're doing shock to you, they're doing frost to you, and all of that is just reflected back onto them. So it's not only damaging them, it's like having feline cat. It's having better than feline cat. They're fighting each other with manipulation. When you see that symbol above the head, and you'll see them in the video that I'll stitch on to this little intro, and you absolutely destroy. It's the best defensive in the last. You'll see me just melt the mandrill, the fiery mandrill, which is usually the game killer in the last room before the boss. And then the boss, I destroy, well, the enrage is, 90%. It's like in a few seconds he's down. So it really does synergize well. And I haven't got a lot of, I show you the scrolls and that, but it's something worth trying is all it's about. So try some of the new patch stuff here, the Counterviolence together with Painkiller, and then on top of that, Spores. In the past, you'd have to get that, have a fire weapon like the fire tower in the offhand, then another weapon in the main that was your shock, and then on the Crown Prince, you'd be tossing your grenades for your corrosive damage. Now we're getting all of that on any character with no element on the side, and using Spores, which just, I destroy runs with that alone, and just some scrolls. So we're just destroying. So I thought I'd let you know, have some fun. So I'm just coming in the last act on Jokul. On Jokul, it gives you a chance to speak to this guy and get rid of one. I do Craftsman's Inheritor early so that I can get Gemini on my weapon, specifically Spores, before the first boss, and then I've got this gun early. It'll be over 500 base damage on the right, left-hand number on the top, and projectile count of 15. And Spores really owns, but I've been playing around with some of the new Spiritual Remnants that you get to play with. Now on Jokul, you can actually, you know, that's good for earlier on, but I've got 10,000 gold now. I don't need it for this run. I can change that to Painkiller. So I'm going to select Painkiller. And it is great for Act 4, because what it does, in Act 4 what's really hard is the enemies have got all these elemental damage that is reversed off you, you don't receive it, and put back on them. And what you do, without having, usually to get a Miasma or you know, triple element build, you need a fire weapon on this one, a shock weapon on this, and like you need the Crown Prince to be able to do your corrosive damage to get your triple damage. Well, with Painkiller, the new one that they've changed, they've enhanced it. Let's replace that. That we actually get that without, you know, we got our corrosive on this weapon. I've got Counterviolence on this, which rocks because it gives you some crit X, but the really good thing is this weapon, this weapon here does not crit. It's a great AoE weapon, it slows the enemy, but it just does white damage. Now every second hit, which we're going to have fast fire rate, and on this hero we've got Warlike Braid, so we'll be up like 1400, you know, rounds per 100 seconds. Basically we're getting Miasma, we're getting the fusion builds, we're getting fire reversed onto them, frost reversed onto them, we've got corrosive from our weapon onto them, and they're getting manipulation where they fight each other, so they're not hitting you when they're fighting each other and all that. So it is great defensive for Jokul, which is like really crazy damage. Let's head in and have a look at a bit of the fun we have, eh? It makes Act 4 a lot easier. Doesn't work on the elites, by the way. So it really is a good defensive. I've got Fake Death, but I just did a run on the monkey and didn't do Fake Death at all. Got Painkiller on the first mushroom, and it was really good. Like I didn't die. I didn't have a lot of defensive stuff either. I got plenty of damage from the crit every second one. Spores is rocking. What's the message here? No message. Like these guys, he's immortal. If I stay on him, even though he's close, he won't shoot me. These guys charge each other if you're like, I saw them in the, I'll try to get some captured footage of it, but they're dying so quick. But the two mountain guards, I put manipulation on each other and they dashed towards each other and slammed each other to death. It was so much fun. And if they're doing that to each other, they're not doing it to you. And this weapon is great that it slows them. It's a really long shot. You try getting crits from here in the crit spots, that's the yellow numbers, from this far away without a sniper weapon on the Tiger, you know, like, and the sniper weapon doesn't perform like this weapon anyway. What did I miss? Anything there? No. I'll just wait for a wild room. I got it, the last room I got, you see the little manipulation? The manipulation is the little purple swirl. Little green like cloud figure is the Miasma damage, and then you'll see fire and shock in the hard rooms. Jungle of Thorns not bad. But we got damage resist in the last one, so there was lots of enemies but which died slower. And they're just dying so fast here. I was on the monkey, it didn't have this sort of damage. Now what's the rate of fire up to 1500 with our Warlike Blade? That's what's doing the difference. See all the stuff above their head. Like here, it won't manipulate the split guys, but I'll show you the symbols in a second. Just nuke everything else. You know, Jokul's pretty crazy. I'm just going to get that saucer down. You see the little, that's got manipulation on it. They can't get manipulation as elites. It doesn't matter because they're dying so quick. Which is the real one, that guy? Nope. Where is he? He's up there, but I can't get to him now. Not him, he's dying too quick. Yeah, he's the real one. No, he just changed places. Again, he changed places. Gee, they teleporting and swapping places all the time. They heard about Painkiller coming into the game and they're running away. What have we got here? That's really nice. A lot of crit. I've got enough damage for the boss anyway now. Don't really need side rims or anything, but okay, I don't know if I missed one back there. I usually check around. Corrosion backfire. I want to get damage resist actually. These guys are dangerous, but they start frosting their other guy, the cavalry. See him turn around? He went sideways, not at us. Yeah, powerful monsters, and they're both nuking each other. So much fun. I mean, these guys are dangerous usually. They're empowered too. We got a bit of damage as well. Here's damage resist. Good. Don't really like damage resist usually, and it's bugged out since February 17th. It can be really brutal to kill the mandrill, and I want to get him in here just to. Well, it won't. We should be alright with the damage we've got to kill him. Does have manipulation on it. It's got can't manipulate the sources though. Otherwise, you put a shield on me, I suppose. He's got manipulation. It's got miasma, frost, spores, and fire. All on the targets. That's what's nuking everything. And it's not on me, so I'm not taking any. Look at me, I got triple comeback, 67 shield. Now this is the room that usually like you're in fear of. I've got to kill the mandrill. Look at the melting up here, mate. When he comes off, you got to chase him. Oh, yep. Look at that. That was just. I don't know if you've done that, but he does not usually die that quick. And it's part of my build as well. Like I've got that fair hitting every 12 hits pretty hard. I got one of those for defense. I've got that. So I got some pretty good damage there. Not really doing any damage. I'm not pressing my E at the moment. It is just for survival, but you don't need that. That's for the tiger, not for me. I don't escape. We'll do the side room. We don't really need it, but there might be a fun elite that invades or something. Who knows? Oh, well, like blade, I'll take more rate of fire. Let's look at the damage here. All the damage, but also the defense. You know, that's really. I know I've got plenty of runs where I've done damage like this. I mean, I had dual edge the other day with 1000% damage between it and you know, overconsumption and that. Now melted stuff is quick, but the defense is what's amazing. What defensive scrolls have I got again? So I've got some decent, and then average. Oh, that's decent too. Oh, I've got Sanguine, I forgot, so that's pretty good. I had a break and came back to this, so I can't remember what was on the character. Saved it. I went the wrong way then, did I? I've got ostrich boots, so my dash cooldown is very slow. Yeah, that's good. Shouldn't have any trouble with the boss. Don't really need anything. I'll do it, but don't need anything at this point. What have we got in overconsumption still at this point? Probably the lowest I've got. So I usually do a scroll check and get out what I don't need. Like I don't have any cursed scrolls, so I don't need that. I don't need depth hands because I don't have any enemies to do. It's only 1 second off and our cooldown's really big. I don't need lucky shot. I don't need long shot. Okay, so we bump this up. We got that over 500. And we're rocking on damage. The bunny's just so powerful damage wise. And with spores, but painkiller and look at that, he's already pushed to the canister. Just doing that to get my shield up. Going to come across the canister, thank you. What canister? We pushed him past the orb phrase. Stand here and press your button. 90%. What the hell, man? I think that's the fastest kill on Jokul I've done. That was berserk. Let's see what we got here. Usually not big hits, 620. You don't get the plus million hits, but they're just doing so much damage so quickly. And I really do like the Painkiller for that last one. Still made lots of essence for the run. Anyway, try it. Try Painkiller and Counterviolence together with the RADIOACTIVE GLOVE and Spores. So you get, like, you don't have to sacrifice Spores anymore. It's better than the other two. I haven't used Miasma builds and that for a long time because Spores just outperforms them. It got changed in August of 2022. And a lot of people don't realise, and a lot of videos are done before that, people have got their builds and they stick with them and not realise that Spores actually is the best Gemini in the game, really. I mean, look at the damage it's doing. So enjoy and have some fun. I hope that helps. The new, I tried Skill Shot too, which gives you 200% with this weapon because you've got it every 1 second you do an enhanced beam and it stacks 5 times, 10 times. And you get 200% lucky shot chance, but it does not perform. Lucky shot isn't that brilliant, it seems, compared to crits every second hit. And you can do it from a long way away, so maybe have a go, have some fun.